Some of you have asked me for ideas on how to start building your communities online. Starting to build your community even before you launch your podcast is a very smart move if you want to grow your podcast into something bigger, like creating a business or starting your own personal brand. In our community of Podskis here on YouTube and on our Facebook group, we found our first listeners, fans, clients, superstar students, supporters, and friends. Our community has been the source for content ideas and a great place to get honest feedback. So if you're interested in learning how to build your own community of listeners, supporters, and fans, this video is for you. Hello, I'm Veronica and I'm the social media, branding, and content strategies for the Pod Sound School. The Pod Sound School community is growing strong here in our YouTube channel and in our social media community on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We started building our community before we opened the doors for the Pod Sound School, and we encourage our clients and students to do the same. Starting to grow your community online before launching your podcast will guarantee you'll have an audience from the start. But before you start creating groups and building your community online, I like to share some important points that will make a huge difference in building an active community. And before we move on, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell button. We post videos about podcasting every week and you don't want to miss out. Okay, let's get to it. Building an online community requires strategy, consistency, and work. But the rewards are far greater than the time you'll have to invest. You will have a group of people willing to work with you and give you feedback. So, point number one. Don't be afraid to be very specific about who your ideal listener is. Building a community starts with having a clear idea of who your ideal listener is. Here, you want to be as specific as you can and add as many details as possible. I know you may be nervous to do this. I get a lot of resistance from new podcasters who have the idea that being that specific will exclude people and they want to make their podcast all-inclusive. People out there are looking for a specific answer to their questions. For example, let's say that you're a working mom with a busy schedule who is struggling to lose weight. You're looking for a podcast about weight loss, and you find two. One is learn how to lose weight. However, the other one is weight loss for working moms with busy schedules looking for a quick and effective way to recover their bodies after pregnancy. You will probably go with the latter because it's speaking directly to your particular situation. Same with joining communities online. With so many options, the more specific you are about what your community and podcast have to offer, the faster you'll be able to grow. Point number two, your podcasting peers are different from your target audience. Another thing we need to consider is the difference between podcasting peers and your audience. It's important to connect with other podcasters and be an active part of the podcast community. Leaning on the podcast community for support and learning from other podcasters is important for your own growth. But something I see over and over is podcasters following other podcasters on social media and not connecting with people in their target audience. Unless you're a podcast coach or you have a service or product made for podcasters, other podcasters are not your target audience. This is the reason why you're not getting the results you want from your promotion on social media. You've been offering your product to the wrong crowd. Other podcasters may retweet your podcast episodes, comment on your IG post, leave you a review, but they will not become your regular listeners. So when you're building your online communities, make sure you are reaching out to the right people who will become regular listeners of your podcast. Point number three, choose your social media platform wisely. Once you have a clear idea of who your ideal listener is, finding them on social media is a straightforward task. If you're a solo podcaster and will be running all the aspects of your podcast on your own, pick one or two social media platforms you know your ideal listener prefers the most. So is your ideal listener on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok? This is important to know because you don't want to waste any time creating content and engaging in a platform you know that your ideal listener is not active on. Point number four, be clear in your message and what your podcast and your community offer. Starting to build a community without having a clear message is so hard because you're not giving people a reason to follow you or to join your community. Even worse, people in your community will be people that may not be interested in your podcast, and every time you post something, you get very low engagement. The more clear you are with your message, the more you'll attract the right people inside your communities. You can be certain that if you create a Facebook group or an Instagram account for working moms with busy schedules looking to lose their baby weight after pregnancy, these are the kind of people that you will be attracting. If you're not specific enough with your message, you will have a community with very low engagement. Metrics and big numbers look good, but at the end of the day, if you can't get people to interact and engage with you, you don't have a community. It's better to have a community of 20 engaged followers and listeners than having thousands of followers and low engagement. We have a free training teaching you how to start building your audience even before you launch your podcast. You can find the link for more information and reserve your seat in the description below. Point number 5, create content and set a regular posting schedule. Once you have identified your ideal listener and have a clear idea of your message, you can start creating content to post on your social media to attract people to your community even before launching your podcast. You can post pictures, graphics, quotes, and videos with content related to your podcast. For example, if your podcast is about how to create a sustainable garden in your backyard, you can post pictures of you in your garden and share your experience and credentials. You can create graphics illustrating the process of how to start planting tomatoes. You can share quotes from influential people in your industry or a graphic with your best tips to start your in-home vegetable garden. You can make a quick video showing the best practices for keeping your garden healthy. The idea is to post content that your ideal listener will be interested in and let them know that all those subjects will be discussed in more detail in your podcast. Your social media content will not only help you to attract the right people to your community, but it's also a way to start building your brand. Before you start posting, create your brand kit with colors, fonts, images, and themes your podcast identifies with. So all your posts share your personality and your brand culture and values. Remember, you're building your personal brand with your podcast. Point number 6, and in my opinion, the most important one, is engagement. One of the reasons we've been able to grow our community so fast is engagement. We go above and beyond to answer questions, engage with YouTube comments, share resources, reply to DMs, and also to be active in our Facebook community, which, by the way, you're invited to join. The link is also in the description below. The interactions we get with our students, clients, and members of our community is what have made us better at what we do. From those interactions, we've gathered first-hand knowledge of what people in our community need more help with. We do our best to reply to every comment here on our YouTube channel, which, by the way, I promise if you comment on this video, I will personally reply. Make a point to engage with people in your social media platforms. Sometimes we forget that there's real people behind the picture or the comment. Social media is meant for you to be social. Posting great content and not engaging will not help you build your community, so make sure that you show up. A good example of this is this video. We made this video to answer a common question in our Facebook group. So don't be shy, leave your questions and comments below or join our Facebook community. We'd love to hear from you. And if you're new to podcasting, remember to join our free masterclass by going to the link in the description below. And before you go, 2 things. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video, and no olviden hacer la tarea. Happy casting, amigos!